Gujarat goes to the elections in just a few days from now. But today's battle cry is Gujarat-centric on a very different issue from politics.
From cutting-edge artillery guns to hulls for nuclear submarines. And now, modern transport planes. Defense industry shining in Gujarat. Political backing or industry friendly? As Gujarat heads to the polls, Battle Cry asks a crucial question. What's Gujarat's defense boom secret?
Successive governments and parties in Gujarat have fought over credit for the Gujarat model for infrastructural superiority in that state. Whatever it may be, the fact is that successive governments have made Gujarat one of the most attractive destinations for defense industry. Not now, but from many years. And things have come to a head now with Tata and Airbus announcing a brand new aircraft factory to be built in Gujarat.
This modern military transport aircraft in service with 14 countries around the world will soon be built in India. In 3 years from now, Airbus C295 planes will roll off a production line in Gujarat's Vadodara. At least 40 such aircraft are to be manufactured by a joint venture of India's Tata Group and Europe's Airbus to meet an order for 56 such planes for the Indian Air Force. It was in October that the Ministry of Defence ended all suspense and announced the location of the new aircraft facility. The announcement, welcomed in poll-bound Gujarat, parallelly triggered a political explosion in neighbouring Maharashtra, where local politicians saw the announcement as a loss for the state.
We have never said a word against the Prime Minister before or after. Even today, when these projects are going from Maharashtra, I am blaming the instability of the state, not the government of India.
The politics was understandable, given that a spanking new aircraft factory polishes Gujarat's credentials as industry-friendly, especially to defence manufacturers, and also brings the promise of a large number of new skilled jobs to a poll-bound state. It is no surprise that the announcement lit up the political battlefield. But when the political dust settles, the reality of Gujarat as the choice becomes a little clearer. Tata, the Indian partner in this mega project, was always going to choose between Telangana, where it already does major industrial manufacturing work for the global aerospace sector, or Gujarat, where it had already scouted sites for the intended ground-up aircraft manufacturing facility. While Maharashtra has been a solid partner to industry, especially around the Pune belt, the choice of Gujarat is not surprising. Good roads and infrastructure, access to port facilities, and an upcoming Gujarat Defence Corridor has meant Gujarat has positioned itself strongly as a defence industrial hub for India. In a few years, when the first C295 jets begin rolling out of the Vadodara facility, the state will have already benefited economically and with the spillover effect of more industry lining up to set up base. And for the upcoming election, don't be surprised that the powers that be milk this fact to the hilt.
Tata and Airbus may be new entrants with the big C295 factory that we just told you about, but one of India's largest private sector companies, Larsen & Toubro, or L&T, has been doing defense business in Gujarat for years together. And one of their newest projects from a few years ago is rolling out one of India's most cutting-edge artillery systems already in service with the Indian Army in the operational areas of Ladakh. Take a look at the site in Gujarat providing these weapons.
An image brimming with messages. Gujarat's most famous living son of the soil, riding in the newest frontline defense product, built on that very soil. These images from January 2019 show Prime Minister Modi being driven in a brand new K9 Vajra, 155mm self-propelled howitzer. This Larsen & Toubro facility, situated in the Hazira suburb of Gujarat's Surat, has manufactured 90 such guns and delivered them to the Indian Army. A large number of these guns have been deployed in eastern Ladakh, a true trial by fire amidst the ongoing standoff with China. So happy is the Indian Army with the product, in September it ordered 100 more of these guns from the Hazira factory, keeping the facility buzzing and providing a large window of opportunity for Gujarat to become an industrial hub for artillery gun manufacture. Speaking of Ladakh, the K9 facility is also looking to meet an Indian Army requirement for light mountain-friendly tanks capable of being deployed in Ladakh. What India's Defence Research and Development Organization has proposed is to take the K9's tank-like hull and replace the heavy artillery guns with a smaller 105mm gun imported from Belgium, or the gun turret spotted by the Army's T-90 Bhishma main battle tanks. Such a hybrid modification could produce a credible light tank in 18 months or less. In either case, a light tank prototype could be rolled out in 18 months. The Indian Army has an import option from Russia and the Indian option in front of it. Such an option would not only ensure the Indian Army gets a locally built product instead of an imported one, but would create capacity for tank building at a location other than the erstwhile government-owned Ordnance Factory Board's heavy vehicles factory on Chennai's outskirts. Larsen & Toubro's expertise in licensed building K9 Vajra T guns at Hazira, now validated with a repeat order for 100 more guns, will likely be put to use for even more armoured and fighting vehicles to meet the multifarious other requirements of the Indian Army, and very importantly for the export market.
It isn't common knowledge that Gujarat also happens to be the birthplace of India's nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine program. That's right, Arihant happens to be the only submarine in service now, but there are many more in the pipeline, and each one of them had their hulls fabricated by Indian private sector giant L&T in Gujarat. Take a look at this little-known fact that's actually a giant mark on Gujarat's defense industry track record.
She is India's sole nuclear weapons platform at sea. INS Arihant, India's first nuclear-powered ballistic missile submarine. Launched in 2009 by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh and his wife Gursharan Kaur in Visakhapatnam, the submarine entered service with India's Strategic Forces Command in 2016. The submarine may call the Andhra Pradesh coast its home base, but the submarine itself was born elsewhere, literally at the other end of the country, where the special hull was fabricated and manufactured by Indian private sector giant Larsen & Toubro in the coastal suburbs of Surat. Battle Cry recently reported that while INS Arihant has remained on a lonely nuclear patrol for years, it will soon be joined by its sister submarine, the improved, upgraded and more capable INS Arihant. That submarine also began its journey in Gujarat's Hazra, before now being finished up at the shipbuilding center in Visakhapatnam. The nuclear command is set to receive Arihant within the next few weeks. By that time, the submarine will be ready to pitch out on its extended deterrent patrol almost immediately. Costing roughly 4,000 crore each, the Arihant class submarines have been developed and built in India with extensive Russian assistance. Their complicated manufacturing finding a cradle in the well-worked industrial hubs on the outskirts of Surat city. But for Hazra, things are only getting started as far as nuclear submarine work is concerned. Two bigger ballistic missile submarines designated S4 and S4 Star are believed to be in the pipeline at various stages of construction between Gujarat and Visakhapatnam. Battle Cry can confirm that steady progress is also being made on the S5, a fifth ballistic missile much larger and more capable than the first four. At 13,500 tons, the S5 will be twice the weight of the Arihant class submarines and armed with 12 nuclear-tipped missiles. But probably biggest of all for Gujarat is a 96,000 crore rupee project to build 6 of India's first indigenously constructed nuclear-powered attack submarines. The project involves a final design clearance in Gurugram, nuclear reactor construction in Kalpakkam, hull fabrication in Gujarat's Hazra, and assembly and sea trials at the shipbuilding center in Visakhapatnam. It will take over a decade for the first 6,000-ton submarine to enter the waters. By the time the first of these sharks hit the water, Gujarat's Hazra will have been transformed into a comprehensive hub for nuclear submarine manufacture.
Gujarat goes to the elections in just a few days from now, and that's the reason why Battle Cry decided it's a good time to shine the light on defense industry. Thanks for watching.